gone so far to find no.
We're going to continue to go to your calls this segment, 866-582-9933. We're going to go to Andrew in just a moment, but I really have to make this point. Single mother loses against RIAA, has to pay $2.4 million. Now, this will go into appellate court and hopefully be overturned. This is a fear-mongering tool to try to get you to stop downloading things illegally on the internet. 2.4 mil. It's a lot of scratch, right? What do you think she did? Now, did she download music, burn it onto disc, and sell bootlegs? No, she didn't. She didn't do that. Now, if she was doing something like that, criminal charges, possibly, I mean, a fine of $2.4 million, absolutely ridiculous, even if she was doing that. Can you imagine how many bootleg CDs that you would have to sell to actually cost the industry $2.4 million? You'd have to have some daddy pants gold, some diamonds, some bling. You might even get some fronts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, you're bootlegging like an all-star, like a pimp daddy if you're making $2.4 million. No, $2.4 million for downloading 24 songs. That's a double album, okay? That's a single album if you're listening to something like Rancid and you're listening to 2-minute songs. Let me repeat that. She downloaded 24 songs. They're trying to say that she has to pay $2.4 million. She might not make $2.4 million in her entire life. This is the equivalent. All right, let me take you back, okay? Let me take you right back to, let's go back to 1996. This is the equivalent in 1996 of me sitting down with my big old boombox, because you remember they were big. Even in 96, you had the big ones. You wanted some speakers? It was nice. Or sometimes in 96, you were lucky enough to get like the 5, 10, 15, sometimes 50 disc changers. I actually did have one of the 50 disc changer Panasonics. It had the tape deck in it. Now, this would be the equivalent of me borrowing a CD from my friend, popping it in, hitting play, and hitting the record button with my little tape. Remember when mixtapes were cool? I do. I was fucking mixtape Mike. Unbelievable. And now you're going to tell me $2.4 million for 24 songs? Folks, you could get 90 minutes on each side of a TDK. Is one mixtape worth 24 or $2.4 million? That's out of control. That's beyond out of control. And they said that she used Kazaa, peer-to-peer file sharing network, to download 24 songs. The judge threw the book at her and said $100,000 per song. $100,000 a song. I don't know a song that's out there that's worth 100 G's off the bat. Not one. Not one. 100 G's? I mean, that is like that better be the song of my life, that I'm like, literally as I walk down the street, others hear it. You know what I mean? I mean, that has to be the #1 stunner song. All right, let's go to Andrew. Andrew in Illinois, you're on the air.
Hey, Jason. Big fan.
Thank you. Yes, sir. You still there? Tell me we didn't just drop. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, it's funny that you were just talking about that illegal downloading thing. That's actually the reason why I left the music industry. I was a VP of a record label a couple years ago, but that's exactly the reason I left, is because it's not a good place to be. But I wanted to shed a little bit of light on something. My girlfriend actually called earlier about the state of Illinois and what they're doing, and I kind of want to give you an idea. Okay, we have a replacement governor right now. Okay. We have Pat Quinn, who took over for Rod Blagojevich, that everybody knows.
Yep.
One of the first things he tried to do was raise income taxes, state income taxes, by 50%.
50 or 15?
50.
50%. Wow.
50%. And that was shot down, I would say 3 weeks to a month ago. And now what they're doing is threatening to cut all of the human services by 50%, which includes my girlfriend was a CPS worker, and now she works with retarded citizens. And these people don't have any place to go. And if they get rid of all their funding, then they don't have anybody to look after them.
Well, I'm pretty familiar with that because my brother did that for a living for on and off for almost 6 or 7 years, and he would go to people who were high functional mental illness or Down syndrome or that type of thing that would have their own apartment but would be checked in on by a worker, and he would take them out during the day to go do some things. And then he would also have ones that were less functional that lived in group homes, and he would bring them to my house sometimes. Sometimes we'd take them to a movie. We even took one of them to a Slipknot concert with us. And I think that's absolutely unfortunate. I think it's wild, but it doesn't really shock me. Again, this is a plan to destroy the old infrastructure, destroy the old way, and bring in new infrastructure. And that 50% is unbelievable to me, but it doesn't shock me that he wanted to raise taxes. You look at Pennsylvania, the guy is talking about, we need a temporary 16% increase in taxes. That's going to save the state. And you're going to see that as they take away more from us. In other words, yeah, exactly. As they take away more from us, as our jobs give us less and less and less, there are less pensions out there, less retirement plans, less benefits out there. They want to charge us more and more and more, and that furthers the divide between the actual elite and those who think that they're yuppies or upper middle class. They're gonna soon learn they're nothing but slaves, sir. And that's the new America. I thank you for the call, brother,
hey,
man.
Jason, hold on.
All right, you got one more?
Go ahead. Can I plug a petition that I have going on for this that I just put up tonight?
You got it, buddy.
It's petitionspot.com/petitions/Illinois50. That's 50.
Hey, if you want to do an op-ed piece about it, send it to writers at Infowars, articles at Infowars.com, and maybe we can post that for you, all right? All right, brother. Let's go to Mark in Georgia. Mark, you're on the line.
Hey, how you be, man?
I'm all right.
Listen, it's kind of a good news. I don't know if you've heard of Rich Kalita. That's spelled with a C in KT Ordnance. I just got an email. They never really bothered to charge him with a crime or anything. It's like he went into he used to manufacture components for military small arms, and it got outsourced to Mexico. Mm-hmm. So he went into he did some research. There's no law saying you can't make the kit that, when further processed by the user, becomes a gun. So that's what he did. But basically, they finally got around to New Hampshire dropped the charges against him, but he's still out $30,000 in legal expenses just fighting them, where they confiscated his property without just compensation, the raw materials, the finished goods, and all like that. And there's no law saying you can't say, well, we'll take it up to this boundary, and you do the rest of the work from there. And as long as you're not a convicted felon, and as long as you don't modify it to fire full auto and like that. Have you heard of this case? Or
I have not heard of this case, but it's not that shocking to me that the federales came in and said this is ours, and then they make a guy spend an umpteenth amount of money only to get exonerated, and he doesn't get that money back. I mean, that's the system. They like doing that. Most people don't have $30,000 to spend on legal defense. This guy was actually lucky not only in my eyes, but their eyes, super lucky that he was able to get away with it. When they hedge these bets that they think they're going to, be able to take somebody's property and put them in jail, they usually don't think that they're going to win, or they think they're going to buckle and back down and not spend the money. And really, that's something they're trying to do across the board. Because again, most of us I don't have $30,000 sitting around. They bank on these type of things. Like if you look at, we're in level 6. So if they decide to go into mandatory vaccinations and they don't want to say that it's international law, they can always just call upon Executive Order 13375. 13375 says, well, if you don't take the vaccination, you can be charged up to $250,000 in fines and spend a year in prison. And that'll probably be the first thing they offer to people. Hey, you don't want to take the vaccine? Oh, well, we'll just charge you with this, and don't worry, $250,000 later and a year in prison later, you're gonna do it. And if somebody sees that case that they're going to go after him, if you're trying to defend yourself against $250,000 and jail time, you're probably going to spend 30 G's easy just defending yourself if you're able to get away with it. And who knows about the endless litigation. I thank you for the call and the case, my friend. Lou in Illinois. Lou, you're on the air. Yes, Lou.
I appreciate you taking my call and taking the time out to hear me. I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm supporting a lot of what you're talking about, and I'm grateful to you guys for informing the public on what's going on right now. I tried to come up with a few little issues of my own that I might find, and I'm educating myself, so you have to excuse me if I'm not as knowledgeable as maybe some of the other people that have been listening longer. I'm trying to reprogram myself and learn, the topics that you guys are discussing and inform myself, read as much as I can, a little bit every day, whether it's listening to you, Alex Jones, And one of the things I wanted to make note of, and this might be off topic because I'm not able to hear exactly what you guys are talking about tonight, is that the cyberbullying thing that Alex Jones had spoken about, that's a big issue now. I had an issue with that, and a while ago I was messing around on the computer, maybe 4 years ago, and I had poked fun at somebody, and it was relatively harmless. And what happened was this kid went and filled out fake mail change forms on me and was sending my mail all over the city of Chicago. He went and read my mail, found out, what was in my mail, and started this identity theft thing. And when I contacted the police on it, they basically told me that I was cyberbullying while he committed a federal offense, stealing my mail. The postal inspector does nothing about this. You can go, and I'm not trying to tell anybody to do this. What I'm trying to do is get the word out to get this stopped.